Hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants here. We watched Untucked this morning, some of us last night, and we need to go ahead and get right on into it. Now, I'm going to talk about Untucked, and then I'm going to get into some bullshit that happened on the last video, but we need to go ahead and address a few things. KK. All right, so the girls come in. You know, they're having a kiki over the good time they had with working with the crew and how difficult it was to, make sure everybody was put together and make them their sisters and make them as all clean and polished as possible, okay? Now, during all of the kiki time, Nina is sitting down, laying down, legs crossed, didn't even take her drink, baby, and was just sitting there, not really entertaining the conversation because it was like, well, girl, I know I'm going home. She had that defeatist attitude. And, after being in the bottom so many times, it happens. One thing I will say here, and I'm not agreeing with her because some people think that I have this favoritism thing with Nina and I'm being biased, and I think those opinions are yours to have, but they're bullshit. I wasn't agreeing with her when she had said, well, I'm just going to stand there. I don't think I'm going to lip sync. I'm going to pull a Charlie. I was not happy about that. I said, oh, no, sis. No. You're on a television show. You're a drag queen. This is the time you need to show out. Even if you go home, buck the fucking house down. You got to give it your all. You got to give it your all. What Charlie did, she was injured. So I can understand that. But at the same time, you were moving just fine earlier. But Charlie was injured. So we could understand that. Valentina didn't know the words, but she tried her best. She tried to get away with just the mask or whatever the case may be. But to just sit there and go, well, I'm not going to give anything, that was rough. And I was like, girl, when she said that, I said, damn it. Nina, come on, sis. Come on. We can't be like that. Shay coming in and saying, now, Nina, I'm not going to feel right if you're not doing anything and they say I won on a technicality because you're not trying to lip sync. Like, can you imagine if she didn't lip sync? What if RuPaul would have stopped the music when that happened? Like, now Nina, are you gonna do anything to like she did for Valentina? Are you gonna do anything to the song? Are you gonna say something, Mama? Because you gotta say something. But again, the girls are kind of over it. Sasha and Peppermint's faces, baby, they were just over it. And I can understand where they're coming from. I understand where they're coming from, but I'm one of those people who doesn't pay that dust. Like, if somebody who I know I've been in a competition with or I've been around with who is always consistently like that, I'm not paying it dust. I'd actually would have done a Nina from the previous episodes, if y'all remember, and had my back turned to have that conversation because I would have been like, girl, she's saying the same thing she said before the last motherfucking time. But again, when you're in that headspace, and what they were talking about on the show when Nina said depression it's hard. It is a hard thing. I understand completely. It's hard to get yourself out of your headspace. And again, the girls don't have to coddle her or whatever they want to say about it, but that's what they chose to do. The camera is on them. So you're either going to be a bitch about it, you're either going to be nice about it, or you're just not going to pay it anything. Either way, you're still entertaining the conversation. So Shay was like, come on, girl, you got to give up. You got to give something. And Nina's like, okay, I mean, you know where I'm coming from. But it's like, yeah, girl, but still give me something. And Trinity's like, bitch, we're entertainers. This is our job. We have to do this. This is a television show. Do this. Like, don't just give up. And then Sasha jumping in after rolling her eyes like 2 seconds ago. Like, come on, girl, you're a damn good entertainer. You're good at what you do. Then all of a sudden, Peppermint, how do you feel about this? Because you've rolled your eyes over there for a good fucking 5 minutes and had something to say underneath your breast. So what you got to say about it? And Peppermint was like, bitch, I love you, Nina, and I love everything that you do. And I think you're incredible and talented. But this cannot be the subject every time we get into a group. Well, it won't be next week unless we're talking about Alexis doing something else by blaming someone else for not doing good, unless that's what happens. Well, I don't know what's going to happen next week, okay? But just, it was all of that moment up until the crew walks in with food. And y'all, my mouth is watering still seeing those hamburgers and the mac and cheese balls. Honey, someone said fried mac and cheese. I'm there. For those who know about Cheesecake Factory, which I'm sure everybody does because it's every fucking where, and if you don't, it's like the most, how do I describe Cheesecake Factory? Well, we're not going to go too deep into it. Just know that the menu's too fucking big. Anywho, I always get the fried mac and cheese there for some apparent reason. It gives me life. Anywhere that has fried mac and cheese, I'm like, yes, God. So to know that Hamburger Mary's has that, I have yet to go to the one in Houston. I'm still planning on going. You know what I'm ordering. But oh, that food had just got me all. Oh, I'm hungry all over again. I gotta cook something after this. But I just was kind of like, oh, Untucked. Untucked is gonna be boring, in my opinion, after this one. Well, don't say that, Matt, because we haven't gotten to the next episode yet. But I just feel like without Valentina and Nina, Eureka, like certain big personalities not being there anymore. Like not saying no one else is like great on personality wise. It's just, Shay and Sasha are very chill. And, Peppermint has like the best confessionals ever, but sometimes it's like last week, I wanted her to kind of dig in a little bit on Alexis's attitude, and it wasn't checked because Alexis was too busy apologizing about it and all that such. And then Trinity, well, no, actually Trinity does give you good teas and Untucked. She does give you good teas. But I don't know, it's going to be different. It's going to be a lot different for me. And, but off of that, the crew being there and talking about their experiences on the show, and some of them been there for just 1 year. I believe that was Josh and Alexis's teammate that had only been there for 1 year. Everybody else had been there for about 4 years or more. And Duncan being the longest, Sarge being the second longest. And it was nice to hear them give that respect and the props due in that situation, because it is a hard thing to do. It is a hard thing to put on a wig, to do makeup, to change your entire appearance, and then to be an entertainer for people on a consistent basis. Okay, this is your livelihood. This is where you make your money. This is what puts food on the table, what pays the bills. Some people still have to work and do all of that, okay? Some people have asked me, do I do drag? I do not do drag. Am I interested in doing drag? I have thought about doing drag. But at the same time, I've always been the one to think about, will people judge me? And will I not be considered as attractive? All that stuff plagues in my head. Or how is my family going to treat me here? And to Jimmy Pink, Miss Thing, my eyebrows may be thick, but that would be how I would draw my brow, baby. I'm just saying I'd have a nice thick brow for my drag. I mean, my thick brows look good right now, but listen, it's a hard thing. And so I give all of these queens props. Even the ones who I don't always agree with, where I say, girl, this and that and the other, I give them props. Because you're doing what I'm not doing. You're entertaining me, and you're going out there and putting on a fucking show every fucking night. And that is brilliance for me, okay? So props to all the mamas out there. Props to all the drag babies and drag queens out there and drag kings out there that go out and put a show and do something for their community and for their people. Regardless if people like them or not, they get the fuck up every day and they put it out, okay? So props need to be given, okay? But I was glad to hear, Duncan and Sarge showing that much appreciation for the drag element, even with all the other guys that were there too. That is something you need to hear, and something that I think straight America, not even just straight America, but all of the world needs to hear. It's not just one-sided. It's not just this is wrong and this is right. There's more to the story. There's more to what to being a drag queen is, and to doing drag is. Like, people do drag every day and don't even realize it. When you get up to go to the club, baby, and you want to get yourself dressed up and you want to get geezed and everything, that's drag. Boys, straight boys too. You cologning up, making sure you went to go get to the barbershop to get that fade done right. You put on the right chain. You got your right watch, dragged up. That's what that is. You're putting on a whole nother persona. You are yourself, but you are putting on a persona to present to people, to show them, I am bad, I am this, and you can't handle it, okay? We get the 5-minute warning. We didn't see nobody pull out earphones or anything like that. I think Alexis did in 1 second. No, Nina didn't. I mean, we all know that damn song, Cool for the Summer. I mean, I know that damn song. They played on the radio like it was nobody's business. But, when the crew members got to go to the back and see the girls, then, go up for elimination, and it was Shay and it was Nina. Josh was, kind of down about, like, I feel like, this is my fault. And all the guys, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't take it personal. But Josh, hey, I would be the same way, like thinking, but that was my sis. We worked on this together. This was something we did together. It was beautiful. I love that, because they were in it with them. It wasn't a one-sided pony, you know. It was one-sided pony. What? Come on, Matthew, bring that back. When it came to Aaron, though, with Nina and the emotions behind that and the crying, that's a person who understood Nina's fight, okay? And that's why that was important, because, you know, Aaron did look like a tough guy. We're all tough people, you know, shell-wise, the outer shell of us. We can all be tough. But inside, you know, everybody has an emotion, and we sometimes choose to display it or not. And I'm a guy who doesn't care about crying, because I know where I am as a man and I know where I am in life. So if I have to cry about something, it's because it's coming from the heart and I mean it. But Aaron, upset and crying, I was tearing up for that, because I was like, you know, just that. I love it when emotions are shown and it's not, I gotta hide it because I'm a tough guy. I hate that shit. Like, share your feelings, share how you feel. The slow-mo of Shay when she was ending that lip sync was, it was perfection. It was perfection. That, I was like, yes, mama. I lived for that. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. And also, again, this editing on this show is killing me sometimes. I miss the logo edit bad. You know, Fifi said they edited the show down, honey. I mean, you know, Fifi was mean as fuck on that show. Yeah, she was mean, honey. She can't take that back. But the editing is killing me, because in Untucked, they show all the girls coming to hug Nina. I wish they would have shown that on the main episode. And, you know, Nina gives her famous catchphrase, "Now sue me," and walks off. And of course, they play the music and everything. And I was still sad. You know, I'm gonna get to a point in just a few about some comments made about me and my favorites and whatever, but we'll get there in a second. But Nina said it best as she's walking away. You know, don't do what I've done. You saw what happened to her on the show. She was, you know, she had a defeatist attitude, and it was hard for her to then get herself out of that negative headspace, and she became her own self-saboteur. Had Nina been in a whole other headspace and maybe done things a little differently and maybe learned to sew and, you know, all that type of stuff, she could have gone a lot farther. We can say, I mean, creatively wise, you know, Rue lived for Bonita Brown's drag. Y'all can't say she didn't. She did. You could see it in her face. But it was her time to go. I'm glad that she didn't give up on the lip sync performance, but I do feel like it could have been just, there could have been a little bit more oomph. There could have been a little extra, a little hot shot. It almost was like the beginning of it was like, I'm about to just not go anywhere. I'm about to sit in this one position and not move my motherfucking, I'm just about to give you just none of this. But she went across the stage. She came back across the stage. She gave you a little kick. She dropped down. She did something. So don't say that she just gave up on the lip sync. She just didn't give you the best. It was definitely, I'm going to say 65% battery life. Okay. So not a moment of you need to be scared that your phone's about to die, but at the same time, you're like, damn, I need to put this on a charger because I know I got to do something later. And when Nina walked in after, you know, being eliminated, and she saw her stuff and just screamed, ah! Oh, I cracked up. I thought that was funny. And the girls leaving notes. She was like, oh, I'm surprised. You know they were going to leave some notes. But I wish she would have read them. I don't know if she did and it was edited out. If not, listen, y'all, I look at the full perspective here. I don't assume anything. I just say, I wish this, but maybe that couldn't have happened. Come on now, follow me here. But they didn't give her they didn't show a lot of her, and, you know, leaving. I did think it was cute when she was talking to her breastplate. Like, girls, we made it as far as we could. Mwah, mwah. She kissed both them titties, honey. And Nina left and ended on Sue Me. And I'm going to miss Bonita Brown on Drag Race. I do hope that she ends up on All Stars, whether it's 3 or 4. I just hope we see a little bit more from her and see her in a different headspace, okay? So say what you want to say about Bonita Brown, but Miss Thing brought something different to the show, and that was the thing I was most appreciative of, okay? Now, that we're done with Untucked. So if you wanted to stop, you can stop here. But now I'm going to talk about some other tea, okay? This is from my last video and some comments that were made and some things that were said. Now I'm going to address the whole minority thing that Jamar had made a statement of, because I talked to him this morning about it. I told him last night, I said, now you know that there were other top threes that were minorities, but he was referring to Black and Hispanic, not saying the Asian culture is not a minority. I know that. I know that. But he was referring to Black and Hispanic. And I didn't want that to turn into this whole race thing. So please, y'all don't think that Jamar doesn't think of y'all that way, or is it some little whatever comment there. That's not what that was about. He should have specified what he was talking about. So no shade to my bro. No shade to my sis Jamar. But that was not supposed to go as far as it did. And I was kind of like, oh my God, why did I not catch that when I was editing the video or before we were even talking about it? Like, well, technically, there has been an all-minority top three since season 3, let's get to season 8. Yeah. So, I mean, there's been many in the past. And so, come on now. I just, at the same time, y'all went in that comment section and honey, it was like a breakdown. I was like, okay. Now you looking at me, I'm not going to have no discussion because I know where I stand on the timeline of minorities, baby. Okay. But, y'all bring it in on that. I understand it was kind of out of just, but yeah. So the second thing I want to talk about, because some of y'all think that I'm biased for Nina. And then another comment was made, Matty Rants, aka scared of Nina Bonita Brown. Boy, girl, whoever you are with no fucking profile picture, good fucking bye on that. That was some bullshit that you said. And for you to even say, Maddie, you kept it real all the way up until you found out Nina was watching your show. No. Rewind back, Miss Thing. I gave her kudos on pretty much almost all of her looks because I liked almost all of her looks. Some of them I was more critical of because I knew there could have been executed a lot better, but I liked pretty much a lot of what Nina did because I buy Nina's drag. I've been buying Nina's drag before she was on Drag Race. That's the difference. Trinity Taylor as well. I've been knowing who Trinity Taylor was before Drag Race. So I'm going to look at her differently, as anybody else would if you knew the queens prior to them getting on the show. You're going to have a certain feeling about them. There were mistakes made. Things could have been much more polished on the show. Lots more polish could have happened, but that's not what went down. We choose whether we like it or not and how we feel about it. But I do not need to sway with the majority of the opinion on everything. And for that to then be said, now come on guys, don't do that. No. Here's the difference. We can have opinions, you can like them or not. The problem is how you respond to that opinion. It's not you should have said, it should be I don't agree with what you said. I think that this person did a better job. Somebody else commented and I actually liked how they worded it because they weren't saying that our opinion was wrong. They were saying that we just didn't agree with what you said. I said, that's how it's supposed to be said. Children, learn how to fucking respond and to speak to people when you're trying to have either an argument or a debate on something, okay? So, y'all, I love you for getting in the comment section, for saying what you have to say, for bringing out your emotions and your feelings on everything. Have them. I'm never going to ask you to take that away. This is what this platform is about here at Matty Rants. Rant about it, bitches. But watch what the fuck you say and don't take things personal and don't try to come for somebody's mug and jug, okay? Because that's not necessary or wanted or needed. I'm not coming to you trying to personally attack you through another queen. That's not what's happening here. I just so happen to like that look. And I didn't like that other look. I still think Sasha should have won that. I'm not taking that back. Trinity had a tearaway bathing suit. It looked good, but I thought that Glitter for Days could have had padding because her legs were not right for the bathing suit and the hair needed to be teased a little bit more. In my opinion, I thought Sasha's look was fucking incredible. It was all fully realized. And the whole love and velour thing was cute. Remember, they told her less props and honey, it kind of worked out that way. So again, have your fucking opinion, but watch your goddamn mouth on certain things because some of y'all are really fucking nasty. Oh, I swear. You kids make me sweat. But I love it regardless. Even if I'm saying this, y'all, I love what you have to say. Regardless if you're mad at me and you're disliking the page because you're like, I don't like what he has to say, or whatever reason you want to do it, I still love you, and I'm not going to change that, and I'm not going to take that away. I'm not going to just be like, fuck her. No, I'm just like, come on now, get a good God, girl, get a grip. Latrice. So everybody, thank you again for tuning in, for liking us, for subscribing and sharing. For those who are out there on Twitter, tagging World of Wonder, tagging RuPaul Drag Race, tagging RuPaul. Keep it up, bitches, because I'm trying to take this up to television, honey. Because, you know, again, we all don't agree with Raja and Raven every time they do something, but bitch, we respect them for having a fucking opinion and for getting on camera and showing who they are and not being afraid of themselves, okay? But take a look at the links below. Facebook and Instagram at Matty Rants, and also Twitter at How About Matthew. Also my email for donations and booking, bookmattyrants@gmail.com. Kids, we got Sunday to talk about. We're going to do Matty Rants Diaries on Sunday, so please tune in tomorrow. We'll have a whole nother subject there. We're going to get a little personal, get a little deep, so stay tuned and stay in. But I do want to thank you so much again for tuning in, and I love you guys. Love you girls. Everyone have a good, wonderful, awesome day, okay?